Good people, what's going on, man? Welcome to Serendipity Podcast Season 2, Episode 18. Want to talk to him about what we're going to discuss today, Oak?
Yes, sir. Join us as we tackle the issues and the idea of following your eyes versus following your heart. And also, what does it mean to ride with what you truly believe in your heart?
Yes, Lord. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Serendipity with Inky Johnson across all podcast platforms, including YouTube. Be sure to like, share, follow, and subscribe. We greatly appreciate your support. Hope you guys enjoy the show. Peace. What's going on, good people? Welcome to Serendipity Podcast Season 2, Episode 18. I'm Ink.
I am Oak.
Azo, how you feeling, man?
Oh, man, you know I'm feeling great. If I had to do any better, I had to go to heaven.
Yes, sir.
You know
yes, sir.
Feeling great. Just a lot of things on my mind. Very pensive. Past few days and whatnot. But that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
You know?
I read some, Oak. It said one of the most underrated blessings every single day is leaving our home and making it back to our home. One of the most underrated blessings, right? And so I'm with you, man. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I want to get into it. I got a quote card for you brought to you by D Sugar Boo and Company. I want to get your insight. It said, there are many things in life that will catch your eye, but only a few will catch your heart. Pursue those. Many things in life that will catch your eye, but only a few will catch your heart.
Yeah.
Pursue those.
It's I think the world is, and especially the society that we live in, it conditions us to be attracted to the bells and whistles of life, to those things that are cute, those things that are shiny, those things that are, momentary gratification.
Yeah.
Right? Those are the things that catch your eye. The things that catch your heart are those things that you wake up in the morning thinking about. You go to sleep at night thinking about.
Yeah.
Those things that catch your heart are impactful to others, not just yourself, your bigger self, your larger self. So you want to pay attention to the things that is going to make life better for folks, including yourself, right?
No doubt.
But those things that catch your eye, maybe the Ferrari or the Bugatti or them shoes, whatever we were talking about, the red bottoms, all of that wonderful, beautiful stuff. Again, we're not knocking it.
No doubt.
And it should catch your eye.
Absolutely.
Right? It's really a matter of what is it that we value.
Mm-hmm.
So there are going to be things that catches my eye in terms of beauty, in terms of, just extravagant things. But at the end of the day, what is it that I value most?
Absolutely.
And the thing that I value most is what fulfills me, what fulfills my heart. What I value most is my wife being happy. What I value most is my kids feeling safe. What I value most is the students that I deal with on a daily basis, understanding and realizing who they are as people. What I value most is the teachers that I work with every day and them feeling safe and feeling like they are appreciated when they walk in that school building every day. So that when they go home, the cascading effects is when they come to work and they feel like they are appreciated, they can go home and be their best selves to their wives or to their husbands and to their kids.
Absolutely.
So the community of folks that I get a chance to influence is increased, is made better. Those are the things that matter in life, bro.
No doubt. No doubt. I love it, man, because it says there are many things in life that will catch your eye, but only a few will catch your heart. And the thing that comes to mind for me is, like, man, does it make you happy?
Yeah.
Like, what's the price of your happiness?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I feel like oftentimes it's not a lot of value placed on happiness and peace. Like, my mom said something to me once, and I was like, man, it's so true, right? In its simplicity, it was yet profound. And what she said to me was, if it costs you your peace, it's too expensive.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
On many levels, not materialistic, superficial. If a person costs you your peace, they might be a little bit too expensive. Right. You know what I'm saying? If something costs you your peace, it might be a little bit too expensive, right? And oftentimes we look at something being expensive in terms of what we're paying for it financially. But oftentimes it's like if a person is taking up mental space, they might be a little bit too expensive, right? Mental space in a negative way. Right. And so when I think about it, man, if it catches your heart, does it make you happy?
Say what Ms. Ruby said one more time.
Yeah, she says it costs you your peace.
You talk too fast sometimes. I'm slow, man. I'm slow. What she saying?
If it costs you your peace, it's too expensive, dog.
Yes.
If it costs you your peace, it's too expensive.
I'm gonna put that in my repertoire. If it costs you your peace, it's too expensive,
man. No
That's
doubt.
real, bro.
It costs you that peace, man. It's too expensive, man.
Because that's the thing that we search for. And I had a conversation with one of my colleagues yesterday. She was feeling down. She was feeling unappreciated, right?
Yeah.
And so after we talked and whatever, and we drilled down and got to the rat killing of the matter, I got to the place where I asked her, "Are you searching for other people's approval and validation, or are you searching for your personal peace?" Because if you're searching for other people's validation and approval, then you will oftentimes find yourself at dis-ease. Mm-hmm. So we can have emotional diseases.
Emotional diseases.
Right? And I think emotional diseases are brought upon by concerning ourselves with other people's approval. Yeah. Looking for external validations. Chasing ghosts. Yeah. Meaning those things that you can never catch, touch, feel, wrap your arms around anyway.
No doubt.
Right? And so one of the lessons that I was telling her is what I think you have to do. If you're not in control of a narrative, or if you're not ahead of the curve, then you got to let that go. Because if you don't, then you're going to pay too much of a price for your peace. And in fact, you can't ever pay enough of a price, because it's never going to bring you peace.
No, sir.
If you're chasing somebody else's perspectives of you, if you're chasing somebody else's expectations of you,
talk about it,
then you will never, ever, ever reach your own personal peace. What you will reach is a momentary sense of self-gratification, which is what we call ego.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, I'm sorry. I mean,
yes, sir. No, I'm picking up what you're putting down, man. Like, hey, you hitting the nail on the head, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the second one, man, let's get to it, and we're gonna get into it. It says, it's good to have money and the things money can buy, but it's good to check up once in a while and make sure that you haven't lost the things that money can't buy. It's good to have the things in life that money can buy, but it's good to check up every once in a while and make sure you ain't lost the things that money can't buy.
Exactly.
Heavy.
It is.
Heavy.
It is. And if you want to, if it's heavy and you want to make it a ton, then when you wake up in the morning, check up on the things that money can't buy.
Ooh, man. Come on.
Make that your priority.
Come on.
Because the way most people's lives are structured, they're going to have to check on things that money can buy.
Absolutely.
Their job, their responsibility, their bills, this, that, and the third, right? That is just going to be forced upon you, put in your lap, with or without your wanting to or not.
Absolutely.
But what you have the power of is the ability to focus on the things that money can't buy. Man, is Inky happy today?
No doubt. No
right?
doubt.
Because if Inky is happy today, then Lil Inky happy today, then Jada happy today, then Allison happy today. We good.
No doubt.
That household and that community is good because I've invested and made a commitment to pour into that part of my community.
Yeah.
Right? And this is the part I struggle with. You know what I'm saying? Like every day I want to make sure, is my wife good?
Right.
Is she good?
No question.
Right? And sometimes I do pretty decent at it. Sometimes I fail at it. But that's always going to be my quest. Because that part of my life, that part of my community, I got to make sure that is on the up and up. Yeah. Those are the things that money can't buy. Those are the things that we check in on every day. Like, mom's heart good.
No doubt.
I always ask people, like, how's your heart?
Yes, sir.
Because, we can be doing well physically, but with this whole mental and emotional health things going on, bro, people are struggling.
Deep, man.
People are struggling, man. And like I had an emergency situation with one of my colleagues, one of the teachers this morning. And it was along those lines. I'm not, gonna put her business or nothing like that out there, but it was just like that. The mental or the emotional health can be strained just like that. Yes, sir. So I want to make sure that I'm always a proponent and an advocate for check on your folks.
Check on your folks.
And when I say check on your folks hearts.
Yeah.
Check on their heart. Like some people can be like, they may not have the most money. They may not have the most this, that, and the other. And they're cool with it. Their heart is great. While at the same time, you got people who they may, be cashing a $500,000 check every other week.
Right.
And emotionally drained or just have the disease of emotional strain.
Mm-hmm.
To where they, in any moment, they were liable to check out.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yep.
So it's your heart that I want us to make sure that we check in on with people.
I tell cats often, man, like when you see a cat that's not in a position that they want to be in or grow up in a certain circumstance, right? Like we growing up, Kirkwood, 2-bedroom home, 14 people. That's a blessing. Mm-hmm. Right? You grow up in what you may consider to be poverty. It's not even real poverty. It's not third world poverty, right? That's a blessing, right? Growing up and you may not have what you think you need. That's a blessing, right? When you get to see both sides of the fence, it's a blessing. Some people never get the opportunity to see the bottom, right? Some people never get the opportunity to go without. That's a blessing, right? And the blessing in it is, I'll never forget, right? This quote is so powerful to me because when it says, check up every once in a while to make sure that you haven't lost the things that money can't buy. Good to have the things that money can buy, right? It's hard sometimes to press to a cat, when you say, hey, man, money ain't everything, right? To a cat that's pressing for bread. It's cool. Not saying that you shouldn't have it. You got to have it. Take care of your family. Pay your bills. Get some of the things you desire. We ain't saying you shouldn't have that. Do your thing. You work hard. Acquire what you need to acquire. But it's going to be some things that you going to hit in life. I promise you. It ain't going to matter how much money in the bank. I promise you. It ain't going to matter what type of shoes you got on. I promise you. It ain't going to matter the square footage of your house. I promise you. It ain't going to matter if you're in the 550 Benz, 560, 580, the G-Wagon, the S63, right? The 4. It ain't going to matter. I promise you. When I encountered my paralyzed right arm and hand, it didn't matter I benched 325 and was a workout. It didn't matter. A couple of years ago, my wife encountered a situation. I'm talking about I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't fix it. Crushed me as a man. Crushed me as a husband. She going through it, and I'm like, man, I can't do nothing. I can't buy her nothing that'll fix it. I can't get nothing that I couldn't fix it. I just had to pray with her. I had to watch her go through it. Watch this. Watch out. God cold-blooded, bruh. God is cold-blooded. That's why I give God all the glory. I give him all of it, right? Mm-hmm. My wife going through it a few years ago. I'm talking about couldn't shake it, going through it. Talking about we having to go to the doctor, to the emergency room, like she was going through it. She was thinking she was going to pass away, right? Going through it, having, pains in her chest, head, right? And we praying about this thing. We trying to work through it. And I'm talking about it's hitting me. I done came off the road. I'm like, man, I can't speak. I gotta be here with my wife, bro. We gotta figure this out. We ain't never encountered nothing like this before. Check this. Life was going beautiful, amazing. Probably at the highest level that it had ever been, right?
Yeah.
Wife start going through it. And I'm like, man, I can't figure it out. We praying about it. She's like, man, let's get a health coach, right? She's like, yeah, I think I want a health coach. We get her a health coach. She started going to see this lady. Start meditating, doing different little exercises, doing different mental exercises. My wife has a breakthrough one day, right? With somebody that we sent her to. I couldn't fix it as a husband, but I had to drop my ego and be willing to put my wife in a situation, in a position that she thought could add to her healing. She has a breakthrough one day, comes out of the meeting, beautiful. I got my girl back, spirit back. Stella got her groove back. I'm like, praise God, my wife back. And what it was my wife lost her mother when she was a kid. Mm-hmm. And when our kids turned the same age that my wife had lost her mother, for some strange reason, she lived her life with the thought process of when my kids turn the same age that I turned when I lost my mother, I don't want my kids to lose me.
Yeah.
And so the anxiety was so heavy that I don't want to die. I don't want my kids to lose me, because I know what I felt as a kid when I lost my mother, that it was basically weighing on her, and it was on her. And then she had the breakthrough from somebody else.
Yes. Yeah.
And in that moment, God taught me, bro, it's good to have the things that money can buy, but check up every once in a while to make sure you ain't lost the things that money can't. Money couldn't fix that situation.
Right.
Didn't mean a thing in the situation. But I got my girl back.
That's right. That's
Feel
right.
me?
And you saying that takes my mind to this thing that, scholars have this term, your epic memory.
Yeah, epic.
And so she was experiencing her epic memory.
Mm.
It's almost like you were there, but you were not there. And that's part of the trauma that Black folks experience here in America, right? Yeah. Your epic memory if we allow ourselves to, we can place ourselves back on those ships coming across the Atlantic Ocean. Mm. We can allow ourselves to be on the auction block. Mm. And then what that produces. See, this was just recent with Allison, right? This was just recent in her life. Right. That was like, 30 years ago. Mm-hmm. And she was able to, and the effect, the traumatic effect it had on her.
Absolutely.
That's a wonderful example in terms of how we are carrying a level of trauma every day that we are fighting, and we don't even know we're fighting it spiritually, to not even let it come and creep up. So like for me yesterday, right? That was a part that the epic memory kind of overtook me in terms of, I put the message like I was just frustrated, woke up frustrated and all that about the Brian Flores situation. But what it triggered was the stories my grandmama would tell about how she would have to leave the back door unlocked all the time. She being a mother of 5 boys. Yeah. And at any moment, somebody could come to the front door because one of her boys been mistaken for this, that, and the other. And we all know from, Emmett Till's situation and whatever, that they can come in the front door and, take these boys out and they never return home. So the back door was always left open so that when they come to the front door, you able to jump out the back. No doubt. Right? The traumatic effects of just those little examples that I can go across the board and run a wide range of situations that we deal with, which is why your mental and emotional health must be attended to on a daily basis. On a daily basis. Yeah. See, people think that COVID is the reason, or recently we are dealing with mental health issues and traumatic issues. No, it's just a culminating effect of enough time and enough situations and enough experiences have built up to where we can't hold it.
Absolutely.
We can't hold it. You talking about 400 years of trauma. And I'm not just talking about the slave. I'm talking about the slave owner too.
No doubt. No doubt.
Because none of this was natural.
None of it. None of it.
Not in your spirit. So everybody is carrying a level of heaviness and a level of grief. That's why Dr. King was so important, because he introduced us to this notion of love and this notion of nonviolence and this notion of you fighting ideas and not people. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you got people who were descendants of the slave masters and who were descendants of the slaves, both experiencing trauma. That's all James Baldwin was trying to teach us. That's all James Baldwin was trying to teach us. That we cannot be the best of ourselves if the people who were descendants of the slaves and the descendants of the slave masters are not willing to look at themselves and become better versions of themselves and heal, experience the trauma and heal. That's all right, man. I know I'm talking. I don't care if nobody listening or not.
Hey, check this, man. Like, we both talked about the Brian Flores situation, and we finna get into it here. But just seeing the situation, thought that popped into my mind, I was like, just being real. Why cats ain't riding? This is I'm letting you know my thought process. Why cats ain't riding? He coming out, he's showing it.
Yeah.
Showing text messages. We see it, we know it. Why cats always got to come out and be PC? Like, it's a time to be PC, politically correct, and it's a time to say, hey man, fuck that.
Yeah.
It is what it is. We riding or we riding. It is what it is. It's a time to be PC. It's cool. It's this, it's that. But then it's a time to say, hey, man, strap that shit up. Let's go. We ain't finna let this happen to him. We ain't about to let. If they gonna try to kill him, they got to kill all of us, right? That's the type of time I was raised on. Me and my cousins go out the door. One of y'all get in a fight. All y'all better fight. That's the spirit. I thought about it. I said, this is why King's spirit was so strong. This is why X's spirit was so strong. This is why Harriet's spirit was so strong. She had already escaped.
Yeah.
She could have been like, man, damn them, I'm gone. She like, nah, I'm going back. I'm finna go get all of them. Then when the cat was like, I ain't going, she like, you coming. She draw down on him. King, educated, man, smart as all get out. I'm talking middle class, living, Boston University. He could have bounced, did his thing. Preacher, Ebenezer Baptist Church, educated brother, went in, came out of jail, turned his life around. They could have bounced, right? And so we come present day, a cat come out and say, hey man, listen, this is what happened, right? They saying this could be career suicide. He like, it ain't about that, it's about change. And cats would be over and be PC and be like, yeah, man, he doing that. I commend him. That's cool. Yeah, but shit, I got my money.
Right.
Right? I got mine. I'm good. No, fuck that. Fuck that. This ain't time to be PC.
Right.
Ride for that man. If you in the position, ride for him. You know what I'm saying? He putting it on the line. A cat asked me yesterday, what you think about the Brian Flores deal? I said, you got a son? He's like, yeah, I don't think he should. I said, you got a son? Yeah, I got a son. He fighting for your son.
That's it.
That's what I think about it. When your son come up one day and if your son, a young black man, and say, I want to be a coach, that's why he did what he did. Get it through your thick skull, man. Stop worrying about how much we'll sit in the corner. I got my bread. I got this. Man, this ain't about that. This about bigger issues. This about systematic racism. This about opportunity. This about leveling the playing field. That's why when I walk in the room, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't give a damn who spoke before me. I don't care, right? But I know when I walk into a room, cats looking at me like, what this cat got to say? I'm going to lace him and I'm going to blaze him. Yep. Every single time. I'm going to prepare like no other. Every single time. When I walk out of the room, the next time a young black man come up in dialogue and they say, should we give him the opportunity? It ain't even up for debate. You remember when Ink came? What he did? Let's give it to the next young black brother.
Right.
Man, come on, man. I'm like, bro, we still talking about black coaches? 77% of the league is black, and we got one black head coach?
Yep.
In 2006, we had more black head coaches in the NFL than we got in 2022? And you still talking about a car? You still talking about paper? Man, find you somebody to play with, man.
So, it to me, again, it goes, it's double-sided, right? Of course, we have our responsibilities. And as you said, we got to ride. To me, that's, in fact, yesterday, right? Let's go on and be real about it. Yesterday, my cousin called, and my other cousin. So we on our conference call, kind of weekly conference call from what, trying to get together what we doing, starting the Ink and Oak Inspires program or mentorship joint. And so there's this school, we got the plan going, and but there was a snag. Mm-hmm. The snag was we can't let the kids leave campus except once a month. And that, coming off the Brian Flores situation, triggered me. The way it triggered me was this dude is out here fighting for us to get out of the slave plantation mentality. And then now I'm fighting with my folks to get them to not think in a slave plantation mentality, which is I've seen other schools,
no doubt,
have their students leave campus 2-3 times a week miss your quote unquote class time to go and get lifetime, to go and get life experiences that's going to last them well beyond when they leave the doors of this here educational institution. Mm-hmm. So it set me off to the point of no matter how mad I get, I can get as mad as I want to about the Brian Flores situation, but the piece and the part that I'm playing, if I bow down to, now, okay, that's cool. They can stay in the prison system mentality of y'all the inmates and y'all don't get but one day a week of free time. No, it's not free time. This is what we're talking about. We're trying to teach life here. We're trying to introduce something different. And not trying, we're introducing something different. Absolutely. We're giving them something different, right? So that was my connection to, and my passion, anger, frustration, and all of that in terms of what was going on with Brian and what was going on, getting our program off the ground and running. So it's like we got to ride, as you say, we got to ride, but we got to ride for us. Absolutely. Every single turn, every single place. If, as I always said to y'all, whatever you think, rethink it. Yep. Every day, whatever you think, rethink it. Absolutely. Because chances are what you're thinking is perpetuating the bullshit that has gotten us to this place where we need perpetual healing. So whatever you think, rethink that shit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's wild, man. Like, you often think about in society, and I don't want to call it selfishness, it's just a mentality. It's just a spirit sometimes that when cats struggle so much or go through traumatic experiences, when they get to a space and place to where they feel like I'm good or I'm straight, and they see their brother doing what he doing, they like, oh yeah, he right, but I can't jeopardize. It's like Jake's explained it once. He said, it's like we all swimming. Mm-hmm. We all out in the ocean swimming. And because you're a little further than him, you look back and you like, oh, look at him. He ain't even made it out the sand yet.
Right.
Oh, look at her. She ain't even made. But we all swimming in the same direction, Doc.
Yep.
We all going to the same, we all running the same race, bud. Come on, man. It
gets deep, man. Just like the cat, I think it's in Minnesota, right? They named the new GM. The new GM came from Kansas City. And the Reed was like, okay, you get this, make sure my boy get a shot.
Yeah.
Be enemy.
Be enemy, absolutely.
But he didn't. I don't know what happened behind the scenes, whatever. I don't even think he got an interview. So it's almost it's like when you keep making deals, and I'm not calling people the devil. No, when you keep making deals with the devil in terms of the concept, in terms of the ideology, right? So I'm gonna let you in. Somebody come and be like, hey, I got this position, whatever, or I need you to, can you do this? Can you head this up? Whatever it may be. But you can't bring ink with you. He talked too aggressive. Yeah. Do I take it? Or do I be like, hey, bro, you can take your shit and get the phone away from here? No, you see what I'm saying? No. That's kind of what it boils down to. It's sad that we are placed in those positions. But once we begin to stand and say, no, I ain't coming unless ink coming. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then now, eventually, you're going to be like, all right, come on. Both of y'all, come on. No doubt. And then we go hit them across the head and knock that mess out the park. No doubt. That's how you open up the doors. So, and I can't fault nobody. I'm not here to fault anyone. But that's a case of what you're saying. Everybody's swimming, and then once you get yours, you kind of you don't even forget. Right. It's just that it's unfortunate that we're just placed in those situations where we got to choose between my well-being and meaning, okay, I'm gonna be all right, but I can't bring my folk. Yeah. Or we both end up not being in this situation. This is the catch, though, Inky. This is the catch, brother. If me and you together, there is nothing external that is any greater. Yeah. There is nothing greater than when me and you on one accord. Yeah. Regardless of where we are. Yeah. Paul Laurence Dunbar said, the place where the rainbow ends is a poem. There's a wonderful story full of splendor and glory that Arabian legends transcend. right? And what he's talking about, the gist of it is, we can get all the money, we can get all the jewels, we can get all of what life has for us, right? But then the very last line, it says, basically, but I found wealth in my friends.
Heavy. That's tough.
The place where the rainbow ends, Paul Laurence Dunbar. Yeah. And he's talking, because we have this myth or whatever about the place at the end of the rainbow is full of gold.
Oh, yeah.
And what he said, the place at the end of the rainbow is when you find wealth in your friends. So then there's not anything that you, sir, ma'am, whatever, that you're offering me is going to ever be any greater than the connection and love and the energy that I have with my partner.
No doubt.
That, if I don't understand that, then I missed the boat.
That's strong. That's strong. That's where the power is, man.
Yes.
That unity, man, and purpose and mission.
What the word say, man? One or two gather in my name, I exist among you.
Yes, sir.
Right? We can fix it up and turn it around 5 different ways, man. Yeah. It's the same pot of soup, just reheated. I don't care how you say it, man.
It is. What is it? Oh.
It's the same pot of soup, just reheated. We can go, I can give you 1,000 analogies, but the same thing is when we are together, there's nothing greater.
Nothing greater, man. Nothing greater.
Yeah.
It's like this, man. Like, I'm not a passive aggressive person. Right? That ain't me. Like if a cat come up and hit Oak, right? You could bet everything in your life. I ain't even second guessing it. Right? Wrong. I don't even care about your explanation. Like without second thought, we riding, right? But I don't get that way often. Like I'm gonna try to be chill and cool about it. But the thing that got me riled up about it was when I would see people speak about it, they were speaking about it like, yeah, man, it's wrong, maybe correct. I'm like, nah, this is that time. Right. If you was ever looking for the time, it's that time.
Right now.
I raised my kids like this. Oh, I tell them all the time. My wife get on me too. I say, hey, man, if somebody come up and hit you in your mouth, you don't let nobody tell you how you should respond. You respond and you get busy. And they know what get busy mean. Yeah. Because if they hit you, if they touch you, they can't control how you respond. You get busy. And so in life, when something comes your way, something happens, something transpires, you get busy. Right? Can I be honest with you? Ink. We done got to go up to the school for Ink. Ink done started a petition, right? And look, I give the teachers 100% credit, right? Because they responded in a way that was beautiful. But we had to go up to the school about it. Something was happening at the school to where some of his little partners, they bringing stuff to school, teachers taking it. They ain't even took nothing from Ink. Ink done start a petition. Ink getting cast a sign that he done went to the wrong girl. She done told him. She done told on Ink, right? Got Ink in the office. Ink starting the petition, right? Ink think it's wrong. Ink think it's wrong. She shouldn't be taking my partner's stuff, right? Teacher called us up. We come up there, right? She was like, I think it's beautiful that he thinks that way, right? That he thinks something is wrong and he's willing to have the courage to start a petition about it, right? I think it's beautiful. Now, this situation might have been a little bit too extreme. I said, Ink, what you think, man? What you think? I want to hear your thought. Ink said, I might have took it a little too far. Ink said, I might have took it a little too far. But the thought process and the spirit was there. Right. That, hey, I'm willing to go far for what I believe in and what I think is wrong and happening to the people that I'm walking and I'm running with every single day. And so, Oak, I want to get your advice and your insight on this quote. And I may be paraphrasing it a little bit, but when King says, if a man hasn't found something that he's willing to die for, he isn't fit to live, something to that extent. If you haven't found something that you're willing to die for, I don't know if you're fit to live.
Because what you willing to die for is why God sent you here. What you willing to die for should be your purpose. What you willing to die for is your mission. So once you find it, that's the catch to me. Once you find it and reject it, that's when why you taking up the oxygen, man? We got some other folks who need that oxygen.
Why you taking up that?
No, I'm for real. We got other folks who need that oxygen. Because it's one thing that I don't know why I'm here. Okay, you on that perpetual quest. No pressure. But once you figure out, or once you know in your heart what it is that you should be doing, and you don't do it because of whatever reason, fear or just maybe selfishness, whatever, then that's when you just taking up oxygen.
Yeah.
You taking up space.
Yeah.
You in the way. Yeah. Which is why Harry would pull the gun on and be like, okay, if you ain't going, then you got to go. If you ain't going, you got to go.
Yeah.
When I mean go is, I'm going to pull this trigger. That's what I mean go, not go with us. If you're not going with us, you got to go. Yeah. Right? And that's really, I think, what Dr. King was getting at is once you find your mission, once you find your purpose, once you find whatever your heart is dead set on, and you refuse to walk on it because of fear, then what you doing? If we're saying, let's just go to the Bible for a second. Let's just get religious for 1 second, from a Christianity standpoint. If you don't go because of fear, and if one goes because of love and passion, right? So if I don't go because of fear, then who am I dwelling with? The devil. If I walk on my passion and walk on love, who I'm walking with? God. Yep. So choose one. You choosing one or the other.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So if you're going to choose to walk and dwell with the devil, then go to hell with the devil. Bye.
Yes, sir. Yep.
But if you choose to walk in love and you choose to walk in your mission, you choose to walk in your passion, you choose to walk with your heart, you choose to walk through fear, you walking with God, let's ride. That's heaven.
No doubt. No doubt.
So even what I'm extrapolating what you were saying and been saying about the situation of who we ready to ride. Cat's not riding. Cat's not riding, deciding to go to hell. But when you riding, you understand this to be right. You understand this to be the way the ball's supposed to bounce. Then you walking in your purpose. You walking in your mission. You walking with God. You walking in divinity.
Yes, sir.
You getting in line with the universe, and then you able to bend the universe to your will. You being able to bend the universe to where it is going to be beneficial for you and yours.
Yes, sir.
Cool. But if you are inactive because of fear, what you here for?
Taking up that rare air.
You taking up that rare air. Sign your scholarship to hell and go on and check in.
Sign your scholarship to hell.
That's it, bro.
I got you, man. I got
we
you.
We don't pontificate with these folks long enough, man. You
there
got
it
word
is.
or something, man, so we can get up out of here.
Yeah, man. Like, man, I get passionate about many things. And today, as you can see, one of them was the situation that's been transpiring with Flores and just the systematic approach and what has happened, man. I think it lends to extreme importance about all of us in all of our different areas and aspects of life, man. When you do something, do it with excellence, believe in it so you can open up the door for those that you're connected to, but also for those that are coming behind you, but more so you can honor the legacies of those that went before you.
Yeah.
Right? Live for something, man. Do what you do with great. That's why I don't like being around cats that play with what they do, right? That do it with average behavior, right? That don't care about nothing. Like, I would rather you just bounce, you know what I'm saying? And don't even do it with me. Give everything you got to it because it's connected and interconnected to those that came before you and those that's coming behind you. And so, man, it's nothing but love. I got a word for you, though. Oh,
okay.
I don't want to take us out, man, with this rapid fire.
Be a lot of pressure on these words. I don't know where you coming from.
Oh, man, I got one for you, man. I got one for you. National Football League, NFL.
Man, that thing has It's a couple different components, right? That second word, football. When I removed the national and the league from it, football, pure, taught me, gave me the opportunity to learn about myself, right? Gave me the opportunity to connect with other men, boys at the time who grew up to be men, that we have a relationship now to this day that serves as the foundation of who I am. Introduced me to Coach Ronald Graham.
Yes, sir.
Outside of Elijah Mitchell, my dad, he is all of that. He was all of that for me. And because he introduced me to possibilities that I had never imagined. So football, I'm very passionate about from a personal standpoint. So that's why, like, if the Brian Flores situation was hockey, I would have, a connection to it. I have a thought about it. But this is home. Football is home for me. So that's part of the passion I have. Now, the National Football League, we have to be careful and make sure that we understand that the National Football League is different in a lot of cases from the National Football League owners. The National Football League is an office up in New York. Right. You got, Troy Vincent, who I feel for that brother because he's in the interstitial space between the owners and then the players and the league itself, right? Yeah. He understands the fight. He understands the plight. Yeah. He understands the frustrations that the coaches are going through, the black coaches are going through, the black experiences that a lot of the players are going through. Yeah. Yet he still is working for the National Football League and ultimately the owners. No doubt. So when we're thinking about this, I want us to always make sure that we separate the two. See, the National Football League has provided a life for so many people that they would not have had the opportunity to experience.
Absolutely. Generations.
Generation and generation, especially if you do it right. Yep. But then you got the National Football League owners that comprise of 31 men. And, Green Bay is a publicly owned, team. So you're talking about 31 men who happen to not look like us. Yeah. Right? And so if these allegations, not allegations, because the man said, Coach Flores said he's just speaking truth. So if they walk on the truth that Coach Flores spoke on, the cat down there in Miami, we can exit that. I got $2. If we can have enough folks with $2 to buy a team. I know there are enough people who look like us with $2 to buy a team. No doubt. Now, of course, I'm being funny and exaggerating, but I know we can be able to get a corporation of folks of 5 or 6 or whatever to be able to purchase a team and change the way the landscape of it, of the NFL is. Because just like in the NBA, it's only one. It's only one that owns a team. Yep. That's the cat I don't talk about, but so that may be a possibility in terms of an inroad. But the National Football League is always twofold for me. Well, really threefold. Football itself and what it has produced and done for me in my personal life. The National Football League in terms of what it has done for a whole lot of people, given a whole lot of opportunities, created a whole lot of different experiences and wonderful experiences for people of color, people of minority, people, of the majority as well. Wonderful. Okay. And then the institution of the National Football League, which is what I would call the owners, that is what we're really talking about and really got to give attention to.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I got you. Appreciate your time. Appreciate your ear. Appreciate your support. We out. Peace.
Peace.